It's the Health in the Real World podcast. It's time to start the show with Chris Janke as your host. Here to give you everything that you need when it comes to fitness strategies. We keep it simple and easy. It's your roadmap to get healthy. You don't need equipment and you don't need a gym. Just the right strategies to get you fit and trim.
Are you ready to take control of your healthy retirement and envision and then actualize a purposeful and healthy life to enjoy the next chapter with energy, passion, and abundance? Book a healthy retirement discovery call with Nancy now at envisionhealthyretirement.com. Hello and welcome to Health in the Real World. I'm Chris Janke and I'm joined today by Nancy Schwartz. Nancy is the founder and transformational strategist of Envision Healthy Retirement. We're going to be talking to Nancy today about what that looks like and how that can help you. Nancy, welcome.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here and talk with you today and share with you some interesting goodies that I've been working on.
Well, you have a long career in corporate leadership roles, right? And you decided to start this kind of a passion project company for you. Give us a little background as far as how you started Envision Healthy Retirement.
Yes, thank you for that question. So I, as you've said, Chris, I've been in the corporate world for 30, 40 years, who's counting, lots of decades, right? And building up over time, which has come with me, a lot of chronic stress and really okay health. And constantly pushing myself. I'm an achiever. So I push because I want to be number one. I'm not happy about being number two. I'm really goal oriented. So I've been very lucky, but my career has come at a cost, right? So I was running my last company, which was a retained search firm. I was a partner formerly in a very large global consulting firm. And I decided that I would go to yoga and treat myself. This was a big treat. So 8:00 in New York, that was the last yoga class that they were giving. And so I said, I'm getting there. So I got there. And of course, my mind is elsewhere, but I'm in the back, my favorite position to be in the back and kind of sort of, I'm there, but I'm not there, if you understand what I'm saying. And and I love yoga. It's one of my favorite things. And almost at the end of the class, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, comes this massive 6-something foot guy. He crashes on top of me. He's lost control of his handstand. Now, he weighs probably a couple 100 pounds more than I. So I shake it off. It's like, I'm fine. I go home. Next day, I'm on many phones with clients, everything's fine, I'm great, blah, blah, blah. But meanwhile, I'm saying, I think I need to go to the acupuncturist because I'm thinking some things are a little not so fine. So I finally get a treatment with the acupuncturist and he says to me, you are one hot mess and I can't do any more treatments for you, right? So all of a sudden, my pivotal moment is in his office and literally it's dark because when they put all the needles in you, they sort of take away all the stimulus, right? And it's very dark and it's hot and it is sort of the table spinning and I'm saying to myself, oh my God, am I at the moment? And what am I doing? And I finally realized if I don't take action and take care of myself and put myself first, who's going to do it? Nobody. So that was huge for me because I always put my company first. I put people that work for me first. I put my family first. Everybody's first except me. And so that was absolutely pivotal in terms of taking control, taking action, and really thinking about, hey, what's happening? So I was in and around nearing retirement, not quite there yet. I'm still operating and really working very hard as I always have. And I started to go out into the marketplace and I said, okay, well, let's learn about this thing, retirement. And I took a few courses, but they didn't really help me. And then I started looking for health plans, or it was disease related, but I said, well, gosh, thank goodness I don't have anything. But, how do I optimize myself? Because in my world, I always wanted to operate at peak performance, right? So I was an athlete before I went into corporate, and I still do a lot of training. And so to me, it's like, if you're not at optimal performance 100% or 150% of the day, I'm not there, right? I'm not there. So, that's what I did. And I couldn't find something that merged, and I went out to really educate myself from the top global experts for 5 years, to combine what is it to retire, what for the human, not from the financial point of view. I want to be very clear with your audience. I know you and I have discussed this, but from the person, the individual, the human, what does this mean? And then combine it with a health component. And so that's really how I created this proprietary process, really, for myself, my family, my friends, and ultimately now my clients, of taking them through, a transformation, right? Because the person is really organic and is changing and fluid as life is, right?
Right. Well, I think that is very important, because we do hear a lot about retirement in terms of financial, right? How financially ready are you to retire? And I have one client I'm thinking of, for example. He told me, he made a lot of money. He owned several businesses, and he said he would give it all up for health. He said, Chris, you have no idea how bad I want to switch positions with you, because, all the money, it's of course we need money. We need stability. We want to provide for our family. Yet, like you said, at the same time, if you don't take care of yourself, who is going to? So what are some things that somebody maybe entering, let's say their 50s or 60s, needs to maybe start thinking about in terms of, okay, the next several decades are going to look like this, and I can optimize by doing XYZ? What are we looking at?
Yeah. So I created exactly that. That's what I asked myself. What the heck do I do? Right. So, and it's not out there, right? They don't talk about it. And I think we need to share with your audience a little bit that people think that is very secretive. Like, I'm not going to call Chris because he's not going to tell me, or I'm not going to do this. It's has a lot of fear connotations. And I really want to share with your audience that I am a disruptor. So I want to disrupt the way you and your audience really think about retirement in terms of the connotation, and in terms of the thought about health, and to your client, exactly what I have clients in similar positions where we are optimizing the mind, body, and soul for a longevity. So the thinking of the science, we're living at a fabulous time. We're living in the future now, that we should be able to utilize the tools that we understand, that the scientists are giving us, that the technology has arisen and keeps arising. It's just amazing connectivity around the world. I mean, it's so exciting. And really to have the mindset of a growth mindset, right? Of thinking about, okay, longevity. So I created a really small, and it's on my YouTube channel, and I talk about it in webinars. I call it you planning. And basically the components are to plan you. So for instance, Chris, you and I, we made an appointment. We planned for this discussion. We planned for our careers. We have family nights. People plan, except they don't plan for the human side of healthy retirement, right? So that's the situation. And it's really, I just want to really encourage your audience to really think about it from the point of view that it is so beneficial to get to know you again, because you are evolving and you are moving. So that's really, and to think about it, the second piece of it is about owning you and taking action and being responsible for all, the whole of you, right? Your mind and your body. But to come at it from the mindset, championing a mindset, a growth mindset of personal growth. And honestly, I work for top global companies, and really the last time I looked at personal growth maybe was in college, or
Wow.
a massive new role that might have been maybe 10 years ago, or you know what I mean? It's just the work is a lot internal. If we're talking to your audience in terms of what is it they need to look at. So I
Right.
encourage people to really champion a growth mindset. This is used in athletic forums. Chris, I'm sure you know from other guests that you've interviewed, but I really take a lot of what I do in terms of my proprietary program, my 12-week, and we really look at it as a business, right? We want to envision something like you're building a new product. Well, we're building a new self, right? And then we want to create really solid, fundamental, sustainable action, small, tiny, so that they're achievable. And then what is it that this person, and I guarantee you, Chris, I mean, we may have, if we were in the same age and we were in and around retirement, you and I may have similar type goals, but you are an individual. You will have certain things that you want to do. And when I looked at what is it that I really love, and I said, I love running companies, but I'm going to run it on my terms, right? Not on other people's terms, right? So this is, and other people, they could be in philanthropy, they could be raising guide dogs, they could be helping missions, they could be in academia, they could be writing. I have a friend who's become quite a rock star painter. Who knew? But that's what she's doing. It's pretty amazing. Yeah, it's awesome.
That's what my grandparents did. That they became painters in their
wow.
retirement. But I think what you're saying is pretty amazing. It sounds like the corporate world really encourages you to just give all of yourself, and you're not replenishing. Like you said, you weren't considering personal development. I mean, the last time you did was like college, you said. And
every new role that you get, you do it, but it's for a brief period of time, so you can step up to the next role, right? It's not an immersive, right? And I would be doing that while I would be operating as well, right? So it's not like I have time to step back and think about what is it, right?
Retirement gives us a great opportunity to really focus on ourselves, and ideally we would have been doing this the whole time, and at least taking the time working out or going on retreats or engaging spiritually, but you're right. If you haven't, then this is a perfect opportunity. You just stopped working. Now let's work on ourselves. So I think that's a fantastic way to go about it. What are some of the common themes that you see with people? Like first couple of days, you're like, oh, I notice, Mark and Betty are falling into some very similar patterns. Are there any patterns like that you see from a lot of people?
Absolutely. So I'll use my case, but I can tell you that my clients also have experienced this. So in my case, I was so burnt out, I didn't realize I was so burnt out. My life had become my new normal, right? So I didn't realize that you had to absolutely floor your motor to keep going through the day. That if I had only stepped back and maybe gotten enough sleep or eaten the right kind of food, or maybe I was an over exerciser. So I was exercising, but too much. So, to quantitate it, right? I think also, unfortunately, from a mindset, First of all, people, I would say, I don't like to use the words generally, but I would say a majority of people are just exhausted. This lifestyle is exhausting. So you come out of it and you're just exhausted. So I always encourage people, please don't take a board seat. Please don't do anything like sell your company or, make some drastic moves until your whole system has settled down, which usually takes about a year to sort of settle down and reorient and repoint. But in that, we can also have a lot of negative things happen. And I just share that in terms of fear factor or depression, or because you've had this huge infrastructure around you, right? I mean, Chris, I need to speak to Chris. I'm going to call him. I need to speak to that person. I don't have that resources. So that's another thing that I work on in my proprietary program is let's build the right team around you, right? Who are those people that we will build around? Now, I call it non-financial finance because it's that, it's people who can help you, your coaches, it's people, your CPAs, your accountants, your lawyers, people that you will need that oftentimes aren't in place, right? That aren't family, right? That are people that you hire, right? The people that you pay for their expertise.
Right.
So,
and like you said, running your retirement like a business. So that sounds like you're setting everything up to optimize that, because this could be several decades, right? Retirement now lasts, for a lot of people, lasts a long time, right? Compared to what it used to.
Right. So on that point, which is so well spoken, Chris, if you look at the statistics, and typically, people will retire in the past and will die the next year because they don't have fulfillment. They're not purposeful. They'll have massive heart attacks. Well, we know most Americans are metabolically unfit. I mean, there was huge studies last summer, 88% of people. And I can share with you, I was in New York 2 weeks ago, looking at sitting and waiting for a friend in the museum. And I love to go to museums. I love artwork. It's my thing. And so my friend was coming from another place. So I was waiting for this person. This is a global museum. This has world presence. So all different types of people are coming in on the weekend. And when I tell you, and families, multi-generational, all of that. And when I tell you, 90% of the people that came in that door on that arbitrary Sunday were metabolically unfit when I was sitting there.
I believe
it's
it.
Amazing.
I believe it. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Those numbers are getting extremely high. And definitely when you're thinking about somebody who is about to retire, you're looking at decades of decisions. And, I look at a lifetime similar to a day. You ever go through those days where it's just so stressful? By the end of the day, you're like, oh man, I'm exhausted, but you realize you didn't even work out yet. And I see like if somebody does that over the course of an entire career, let's say 5 decades, and they're just wiped. Like you said, they're exhausted. It's high stakes. Maybe they were running companies, maybe they had a high powered business. Yet, wait, did I work out yet? And you can go decades without that. And the numbers are very high. Nancy, I want to give you a chance to go very big picture. I like ending the shows with a chance for you to give your motivational speech. So now you're going back, you're going to speak maybe at a corporate event as the keynote speaker, or maybe a graduation. And your speech is entitled, How I Think You Can Get the Most Out of Your Life. What would you talk about? You can go whatever direction you want to go, how to get the most out of your life.
I love this question. Okay. So what I would say is I would offer tremendous encouragement, and to say that at this point in time, to flip everything on its head and just look at this as a wonderful opportunity to have a white piece of paper and to create a life of whatever you wish in your life, with the caveat that it being totally integrated and in a healthy retirement, and to build a quest that's bigger than you, that you'll have impact in the world, or locally, or even within your home, to live in the moment, to not miss the little things, but to be there always for the big things, to be inclusive, to have a sense of gratitude and kindness, and be curious, explore. I mean, I would just say that you never know what's in the next door, right? So to always have that appetite, what I call appetite for life, that's why you're here. And don't forget to turn around behind you and always take that hand of that person who might need your expertise or your incredible mentorship or whatever you have to offer, that's special, genuine talent for you to be able to help just one person.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that, Nancy. That was great. Nancy Schwartz. Nancy, how do they get in touch with you when they want to reach out?
Yes, I think the simplest way would be to find my website, which is envisionhealthyretirement.com. Again, I'll say it one more time. It's envisionhealthyretirement.com. And on that, I have a free digital detox download. I'd love for you to take that and detox yourself digitally for a day or so. That'd be great. And also there's a discovery call I'm happy to set up, which is complimentary, which you can find on my website as well.
That sounds great. Again, we're meeting here Nancy Schwartz, who's the founder and transformational strategist of Envision Healthy Retirement. Again, check out envisionhealthyretirement.com for that free gift. Thank you for offering that. We appreciate that. And I'm Chris Janke from Health in the Real World. Nancy, I want to thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Health in the Real World show. Make sure